Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Addie. Today I wanted to talk about my 2023 goals and plans and just do a little bit of a reset, because I just feel like it is so important to, at the end of one year, take stock and then plan for how you want your next year to come about. I think it helps just keep us focused and motivated on the things that we really want and the things that matter in our lives, rather than wasting our times on things that don't. So to go ahead and start, I think it's really important to do a reflection and just kind of think about, you can even pull out your 22 goals or your year prior goals and see what you had listed or what you wanted to do and what you did accomplish, what you didn't accomplish. Or you can just kind of look at the season of life you're in and think about, how am I feeling? Do I feel stressed? Do I feel happy? Is what I'm doing working? Is it not? Where do I feel like could be improved, and how do I want to improve it? So I right now am about to go through and do my post-Christmas reflections. It's a page from my Christmas planner, and that's how I'm going to kind of take stock of what I want my feelings or things to be. It's just how I'm going to get in the mindset for making my goals. But I will kind of just talk you through just my thought process right now as well. If you don't have this page, you can just journal or do kind of your own thinking or brainstorming. But I do think it's important to kind of sit, even if it's just for 5 to 15 minutes, and kind of really think about where you are in your life right now. So for me, how I'm feeling right now at the end of the year is a little bit stressed. There's just been a lot going on, and that's kind of my overwhelming feeling right now. I feel like we've lost our good routine through the Christmas season. I feel like I've gotten lazy with meal planning and cooking dinner. I feel like in general, there's just so much going on that I'm constantly like, okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And I'm not always there and present for time with my children. So I feel like that's the season of life that I'm in. I do feel like I'm doing pretty well at scheduling time for myself. I have been reading a lot. I have been watching some movies. I've had some time in the evenings to relax. So I do feel like that has been a good aspect. And then I have been going to physical therapy for the last several months. And so I physically feel like my body is getting strong, and I feel good for the first time in a year. So that's a positive aspect with how things are going right now. And I definitely want to grow on that for 2023. So I'm going to take 5 or 15 minutes and kind of go through my worksheet, and you can pause this video if you would like to pull out a pen and paper and do the same thing. I will put on a little bit of music for a couple seconds, but then I'm gonna jump forward and kind of talk you through things. But if you would like to take the time right now and just do it, if you're motivated to do that, then just give this video a pause, set your timer, and then come back and finish. All right, so I am all done with that, and I'm now ready to kind of move to the next page in my planner, which is New Year resolutions, and I have it divided into different categories. Again, if you don't have it, you can purchase it. It is available on my website. I can link it below. It's a great planner for just the Christmas holiday season in general, starting in October and moving through the new year. And it's not dated. So once you purchase it once, you can use it over and over and over again. But if you don't want this, that's okay too. I can just tell you. So in my page, what I have here is I have goals that I want for my physical being, my financial wellness, my personal, spiritual, professional, and then relationships. So those are kind of the categories that I try to write things down for. And then I also have a section for places to visit, things to try, and things to learn, just kind of more general things that I want to do. And then I also have a box for action steps I can take now, because I think that is just so hugely important when you are trying to make goals or trying to do New Year's resolutions and stuff. To actually get you towards doing those things, you need an action plan. If you are specifically doing goals, I made a video last year on goal setting secrets, check it in the description below. It is there. Watch through it. It gives you my tips on how to make goals that you can actually achieve and, you know, get. So I'm gonna go through this again and just try to come up with a couple things real quick, and then I will share with you what some of my goals are. All right, so I just completed this little sheet, and typically I would do this at night, but I've got nappers right now, which is why I decided to go ahead and do it. I just had some free time. So make sure that you have some uninterrupted time to kind of really think about your goals. But I went ahead and filled mine in. So I will just go ahead and share with you what I'm thinking about for 23. So first off, some places I would like to visit. This does not necessarily mean I will do these year. This is just, you know, some things that I have on my mind, and if we can make them happen, we can, and if we can't, we save it for another time. But one of the things is just a cabin in the woods. Last year we took a trip to the Pigeon Forge area, and it was just such a good trip. I want to have that kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily need to be there again, but just a cabin in the woods. My kids loved it. I loved it. I would love to go again. Alaska has also always been so high on my list. If we could figure out a way to make that happen, I would love it. Because we're basically like in Europe now, I don't know if these will necessarily happen, but Poland and Greece are two places that are also very high on my list. Argentina is another one, and we've been wanting, my husband and I have been wanting to go there for a while now, so maybe South America is this year instead of Europe again. But those are just some ideas. Things to try on my list, I have pickleball and rock climbing. Rock climbing I have done before. I know that I enjoy it at least a little bit, but I haven't been in years, so I think it would be fun to try again. And pickleball I've never tried, but obviously it's a new trend, and we have a court really close to our house. We could probably walk there, so that could be something fun to try if we can find someone to lend us some pickleball gear. And then things to learn, I have maybe doing some sort of store on like Etsy or Amazon as an idea, so I'd like to learn what that means. And then I also want to look into what it would take to be a coach of some kind, or like do coaching. That's just, wheels are turning about that, so that's what I have there. For my goals for next year, I have physical goals of I want to drink more water, so I want to do at least 8 cups a day. I want to do 3 fitness, like workout 3 times a week, and I want to go to bed earlier by 10:30. So those are my 3 goals there. Financial, I want to readjust our budget, especially just with inflation that's gotten crazy and different activities that my kids want to do. We just need to kind of rework our budget and see what we can and can't fit, and what our daily life kind of looks like with new expenses. And then I also would love to find a way to budget enough to put 10% towards our savings so that we can make some of our trips and remodel type desires happen. For personal, I want to read 12 books next year, more of course if possible, but at least 1 a month. I want to make a studio space in my house somewhere for YouTube, and I would love to do some sort of basement remodel. And if not basement, maybe like patio or enclose our sun porch or something like that. Spiritual, I want to dedicate some focused prayer time. Right now, I feel like I just pray like in the car, like when I'm on a long drive, or like when I think about it, when I'm doing dishes or something. But I would like, and that's good, like obviously I'm praying, so that's good, but I would like to set aside some focused prayer time, whether that's I wake up a little bit earlier to do that, or whether I do it before bed and have a new routine or something. I just want to make sure I do that. And then I also want to start learning more about the saints, so maybe doing a daily saint reading or something like that. For relationships, I want to take 2 family trips to help with that quality time. I would like to make time for dates with my husband. That's something we are really not good at, like just focusing on our marriage and our relationship. So I really want to do that this year. And then I want to do quality, uninterrupted, like not doing a zillion things at the same time with my kids. Professionally, I won't really go into that because it doesn't really pertain to anything, but I do have a few professional goals as well. And then in the action steps I can take now, I wrote create new bank accounts, because that's something for our budget that I can do to help with, you know, separating money. I can also look into babysitter recommendations to help with making quality time for our dates. I put make a dedicated space for my phone, and I think that's just going to help me disconnect a little bit to help spend quality time with my kids. I wrote down pick a streaming service to cut. Obviously we are going to need to cut some things out if I want to put 10% towards savings and probably readjust our budget. So that's just a quick action step I can take to do that. And then to help get to bed earlier, I wrote down connect lights to smart plug, which I've never had in my house before. But for our Christmas lights and such, we got some smart plugs so that I didn't have to go around and unplug every outlet that our Christmas trees and lighted garland and all that stuff was connected to inside. So it's now on smart plugs, and they automatically turned off, so I didn't have to get up and do that. And it's so nice. And I think if I put like my bedside light connected to that timer, if it goes off at 10:30, then I'm not gonna have light, and then I'll just know it's time for bed. So I thought that might help with my going to bed early. But again, those are just some quick action steps. I think it's so important to have those to make sure that you get started. Now that I have this done, I will probably go through and actually kind of write out, make these goals a little bit more defined and work in, maybe add a couple more. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you some of what my hope for 2023 looks like. And of course, the one I didn't really put on there was I would love to expand our family. I would love to have another baby this year. But that's not a goal. That's more like, that would be amazing and that would be a miracle from God, but I can't really do things to control that. So yeah, but of course that would make 2023 a great year, just having that by itself. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope it was motivating. I hope it gives you some ideas of maybe goals that you might want to set, or just in how to go about the goal setting process. And I hope your 2023 starts off really well for you. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.